Alrighty, we finally get into some NA games. We have Food Drive versus Look from Within. I don't know why I said that. That has to be some MySpace metal band. But Food Drive versus Look Within. This in the NA terms of things, in my opinion, is kind of like a battle for the solidified. No, it's not even the mid part. Team on the left, Food Drive, can take games off like the top 4, top 5 teams pretty consistently. They've made second in week 1. Yes, it was kind of like a open bracket, and yes, it was kind of traumatized because of a Yarkor DC, but like they still did okay versus Scrumptious, I believe it was, or maybe it was Cowabunga. And you know, they had some shining moments, obviously not quite at that level yet. Where look within, I haven't seen them play as a 5 yet, but these names all seem pretty competent to me, but like obviously not SPL caliber, but good up and comers essentially. Maybe like the Smite 2.
I really do
next
like
up,
locking
maybe,
Loki.
but I'm
I was
unsure.
gonna actually say for a second, I was like, oh, what junglers could Valor
One thing I
throw?
really want to do in regards to Smite 2 is let's get rid of all the SPL bias. Like Smite 2, completely different game. Experience matters, that is correct, but names kind of don't make. Let's just like treat everyone like a rookie. Like hunt for new names.
Easy pass.
So we have Alfie, Solo. Oh, dude, this patch, I've cut myself off like 100 times in the first 2 minutes of this recording. But next patch, Spectator gets like massive upgrade. So happy for that. See Happen invading solo. We see Brendan Bolt's invading also. Smart that they both just give. This is where it's like, let's see how the supports go. Brendan Bolt's for some reason taking a long time to do that purple buff and not invading speed. So Happen has the start a bit more down pat than Brendan Bolt's, it seems. I didn't see red side jungle. Not too fussed about it. It seems like both junglers started on their own red side. Doing the rotation. This is where the Happen invade kind of impacts Sasano more than Brendan impacting what's his name? Valo. Well done. Dude, Happen has played the first phase pretty much as perfect as he can. Really, really nice.
I love this.
Really, really nice.
You can't have enough.
No early vision, or maybe there was, but I missed it. Okay, Zaylin kind of looking like a noob. Not gonna lie. Just his way that he was using abilities randomly, kind of just like haphazardly.
It does seem to me like Look Within was aware of this. They're not going to step up too far. They have not seen the Loki rather on the map.
Cuckoo getting pushed out of mid, and the Sasano/Akate are able to take that mid camp. And I realized I didn't really talk about team comps, but Blue Team's team comp quite ridiculous into Red Team. There is a bait consensus where if you get baited into going on Hecate, maybe it's bad. And there is a bit of early game pressure over the Loki by Sasano, as we just saw in mid. He should be winning early trades comparatively to a Loki. And honestly, Food Drive just win this game if they sit back, scale up, and have a chill time. Look at that disgusting comp. You know what I mean? The only issue being like if Sasano gets fed, and if you stack on all the massive AoE that Look Within actually do have available, because they do have quite a bit, you know. Massive, actually. Like, you could say that, like, their whole comp is AoE teamfighting. Pretty strong AoE teamfight comp, but in my opinion, I'm not a really big fan of AoE teamfight comps. I was back in the day when I was first starting, just because it's ease of access and ease of execution, right? So, it should be quite easy to pull off teamfighting. The teamfight should, let's say, play itself with, you know, Amaterasu ult, Hecate ult, Sasano ult, Neath ults, 4 very strong ultimates that are pretty hard to fuck up. Whereas the utility on the side of Blue Team's quite large, with the walls coming out from Amir and Karmic on the Odin. And that utility just scaling infinitely later as the game goes, and when like everyone's level 20 and the fire dance starts. Walls are so valuable. Interesting. Karmic has tried to go for the blue buff alone. And bad thing here by blue team, especially Happen. I said Happen did like the early game really well, but he's not on these buffs again, which is very interesting. Especially when you know that Susano's on the blue side of the map, you're able to go for a little cheeky play invade, but instead they secure their own buffs. So what this does is it gives red team a bit of a neutral lead. Getting the blue buff invades fine, but what the real coffin is what we do now is when we track the Susano, he's able to full clear his left jungle, which is paying dividends after stripping away some gold from the blue team. So very, very strong neutral game so far by red team. Pretty happy. Oh, bad by Tegvir. I still will say it's bad. This should be a triple kill by Katie if he plays it well, or Caddy. Nice Phantom Shell.
A nice shell will only buy a little bit of time. The Susano now with the chance to rotate.
And give this to the Neath, to be honest. He did actually give it to the Neath. Very good, very good. In those situations, talking like super nitpicky micro-y, doesn't matter who actually gets that kill, but it just would be better if the Neath gets it. Then Valo coming to the left side of the map as well. Trend I'm seeing by blue team is if red team are making a play in left or right, let's just simplify it. If red team are making a play in left, the jungler, being Valo, will start walking towards the left lane or walking towards something. Let's start looking for some more cross-map pressure, where if there's a play in left or right, you're able to, let's say, get Hecate ult or put some pressure onto Hecate or maybe gank the opposite lane. Should be a dead Cuckoo here. Well done. Good self-peel, kind of, by Cuckoo Khan. Ooh, Caddy clean, but if you die, it's not worth. It is not worth. He gets the killing spree, but he also gets shut down. Unlucky. See, there's the globe shutdown. Now, you might be like, Sharks, you got the kill. It was a good dive. You know, he's a level up on Valo. Yes, but if he just didn't die, Cuckoo's already lost pressure. He has to back, or he has to play careful for the second wave. And now Valo's able to catch up in some experience. He gets to soak some waves. And that gap that the Susano should be maintaining over Loki early game, decreasing quite rapidly. Now, the quite rapidly is kind of caster bullshit, or like talking. But definitely should have been focusing on XP lead. Not necessarily for a snowball reasoning, but just due to being so insanely strong in your matchup.
I've seen Loki's play is more so the late game, the Blue Stone, the Soul Reaver, the Heart Seeker, the tick damage. This is like 1v1 style.
Here we go. He has the level lead. He finds Valo. Valo, no more, right?
And the World Weaver is
I'm a liar.
the instant ult away from Valo for safety. Good thing that he did. A difference in start for the junglers. You talked about the.
See that play right there? Massive win for Valo. Massive win for Food Drive. You know, Alfie has backed a bit mistimed. Caddy, once again, going for PvP. Not a big fan. He is getting poke, which is fine. But you have to use poke for pressure and poke for farm. So, he transfers the poke into a Gold Fury posture. I do like that. But they don't rip it. Now, normally I would advise against like a 7-minute gold pool with Neath Hecate. But the Amaterasu kind of alleviates the low DPS. And Susano's DPS is actually quite good too. Here's some poke for Brandon Bolts, gets the ult out, very strong. Will they have any timers here on the duo side jungle? Both junglers are in duo side. It looks like it's, you know, this to me looks like they're playing for this purple buff. But watch Valo. See? Valo disjointed from the macro play, and now he runs back up. Like, it's very obvious looking at map state what people are playing for, but there's just some disjointed. So it still works out. Valo's still able to make it here in time, but why was he pathing towards backs? What's going on there?
Fight from Food Drive for Globe off the back of the two-man freeze.
Interesting pluck. They just do this due to priority in mid. Hecate probably backed in front of Globe. I'm not going to say like I know 100%. Her pathing looks like she backed in front of Globe. You know, full HP level. Wait, No item. How's she full HP on back camps with no item? Did she really just clear into a back camp? That's crazy work if so. But clean first gold after a really good purple invade, purple play. Alfie has lived in between towers.
It's not that much damage right now, but you get 1 to 2 crit items on
Now, one thing that would be cool is getting this Cuckoo mobile. I know it's not like what you should kind of be looking for traditionally, but you've gotten the early Gold Fury. So Cuckoo's able to go to these red and blue buffs as a defensive mechanism if there's a heads-up play and a planned play to do so. But Caddy here on time for this duo neutral buff. Damn, this damage is really strong from the Jingwei. Look what it is. It's the Hydras. Should have picked that up. My bad, my bad. Where's the ult here, Tegvir? He's not. He's just patient. Dude, he's just procking Hydras on cooldown. Nice. Just leave, just leave, just leave. Oh, this is greedy as shit. Do you have... Oh my god, the freeze! Oh my god. That's huge. Okay, that's such a micro moment. Insane play. Happened Berserker Shield. And Tegvir Hydra is just getting so much value in a fight. That's so funny. Alright, I'm back. Had a baby moment. We can blame everything on the baby. That's what we can do. Every time there's a stop. But yeah, really good play by Tegvir and Happen over there. Good tethering. Tethering is like, I don't even know if the that's the correct word that's used now. I think it's very old-fashioned. I'm sure there's a better word for it now. It's tethering was when you have two units that are at their max attack range of each other. So if someone is attacking unit A, they're able to be hit by unit B at the same time without unit B being hit. But if someone's hitting unit B, unit A is allowed to trade without being in danger also. Like staying at an effective range, essentially. Tegvir should be able to run this game now, you know. He got through the landing phase as a Jingwei. His build is interesting. I agree that Hydra's is good on Jingwei, just due to like math. Like everyone memes Hydrogen for it because like it's weird in Smite 1, but in Smite 2, I'm fairly certain that the Hydra's proc gets multiplied by her 2 as well, and you're able to recast the 2 multiple times. So you get multiple Hydra's procs within her kit, similar to Susano, right? 1 auto, 1 auto, 1 auto. Same as 2 auto, 2 auto, 2 auto. And I would say that Jingwei's is much easier to do in a fight because you aren't cancelling shit. Look, it's a 2k lead. Food Drive might get a bit antsy and rip this Gold Fury, and I don't mind it, the over-aggressive play. The only issue being resource usage. Like, if you burn everything on gold and get Amaterasu engaged on, are you dead? Probably. So you just need a bit more info. If they back for wards... No, they didn't. Tegvir no ward, but Frenzy Dagger, massive. We might be able to see a back abuse Gold Fury again also. Or a purple buff defend into Gold Fury. I am interested to see how it plays out. So what Happens doing here? Not the greatest fan. Okay, he's not actually looking for poke. Looking proactively for poke before the FG. Yeah, I'm fairly certain what's going on here. Right? Unlucky, they don't get that much poke, but if we look at the solo laners, they've just arrived to the left side of the map. So they've pulled gold with no real resource grab. They trade Amma ult for Odin ult. Happen secures it, which is very, very strong. 1000 Sunder. I'm not used to seeing that. That's crazy. It's only been like 1 day without it. Fighting after Gold Fury I would normally have as a sin, but we see blue team who secured gold peeling back into their jungle, which means the fight's actually not too forced. Red team were just kind of walking in. And blue team playing this fight really patient and safe. Globe. Nice, nice, nice. Well done, well done, well done. Very clean fight there. And I'm just, once again, I'm really happy with how Food Drive got the Gold Fury and peeled back together. There was no disjointed, you know, jungle solo diving whilst backline get dove. The Odin just caged for space on gold. After the gold was done, they all pathed back towards their speed buff wall slash purple buff area. There was no real excitement ruining the fight. Very, very strong. Dude, Happens invading really well. Why did he lazy back twice? Is he trolling? I think I've cast this curse him saying he's playing really well. Stop turning around. Yeah, I did. I literally cast this curse him. Nice. Well done by Karmic. Still dies.
Took a long time to do it. Got a little bit scared.
Interesting pick. Look, if the blue team were all farming whilst their Amir died, they probably win the trade, but there was a bit of resources pulled over to Amir to try to save him. Valo doing the correct thing here. Look at this invade. Beautiful. Go check back camps is my other opinion here. He does see that purple's down, unfortunately. Pyro done by red team. This is why Valo should go to back camps. Full clear backs, but he's not really going to do it. It's a minor amount of gold that's missing, but it's okay. It is okay. Happen. Look at this build. Berserkers into Leviathan's hide. He's just insanely tanky if he's running at Neither Sasano. Only issue being he's going to get destroyed by Hecate. Absolutely destroyed. No hybrid defense is my gripe. And no actives. Actives are very strong. Berserkers is actually really expensive, first item. And I'm seeing Amirs do it a bit. I think it's... I do think it's kind of troll, I'm not going to lie. I see why people think it's valuable, but it's a 600 gold dump at the start of the game. And when you drop under 50% at, like, let's say level 7, the effect isn't as effective. The effect isn't as effective as when it's later on in the game, so I'm okay getting it later on in the game. If you want an expensive item early, I'm a Spirit Robe fan because that thing is fucked. And on this patch, it's the 90 protections of each Spirit Robe, not the 70, I think it is. Because it was just nerfed. Alright, let's skip through, boys. All that's happened in the last minute is blue team has been able to invade red buff and a purple buff. And then Alfie has rotated over proactively to secure this Gold Fury. Gold Fury pull is really strong due to having priority in solo lane, as well as the jungler backing and priority in mid. So it's a full tempo gold, which I'm a massive fan of, if the play is to instantly retreat. And they do, I do have a gripe with the way that they did disengage there. It was like, you know, you're not getting Amma taxied. What's the point of picking Amaterasu if you're not going to taxi people around? And blue team, I like how they didn't overreact from losing the Gold Fury. Karmic did farm up a little bit in solo lane. He probably could have stayed over there and continued farming, taken an enemy blue buff. But he did end up rotating to try to fight after the Gold Fury. And now there's this crazy posture on the Fire Giants. This is an interesting one. Bad? Listen, bad by both teams. It's the wall, she dashes. This is dumb. This is so dumb. Every tower is up on the map, like... Waves are surely pushed into every state ever, like... They're just pulling it. No Sunder on Happen. Karmic does have Sunder, but Karmic's on zone duty. They play for the walls. This is that utility that I talked about at the start of the game. Brendan Bolts is gone. Unlucky that Globe chose to use his ult on that. And this is where these AoE team fighting ults that I also touched on become way too easy to play with. Let's see, like, the team fights play themselves is, I think, the comment that I made earlier. And as you can see, they all just press 4, and the amount of damage in a circle is through the roof. It was a bit of a overcompensation to kill that Amaterasu in the Odin cage, which is unlucky, but it happens. Globe had a... yeah, it was just a bad ult by Globe.
So look within are still trying to burn down
Alright.
the fire.
Sasano not dead.
Has to retreat back out. That's one less in
Oh my
the
god,
fire
he's
zone.
zoning Briz in the fire cone.
Still isn't
This is
dead.
a great
Within are still
showing
trying
of
to
soft
fight
D.
through on these
Like,
two
they're just
members
soft
of Food Drive for
defending
Glow.
by hitting the enemy
Now Valor
gods.
for the fight onto
Karma
Alfie.
gets it? What
Karma
is
gets
Alfie
fire, and
doing?
Valor gets Alfie. Zaylen won't be long for this world either. And Food
Alright,
Drive
I'm gonna
for
talk
Glow
about it.
bring right
Let's talk about it.
Alfie, like, instantly.
So, doomed state after this fight. But Valo, full HP, and on a pick that is able to go in and out. Very good in and out god is Loki. Karmic, also very strong. Spirit Robe, Mystical, Hussar's Wings. Odin being also able to go in and out. Range CC, shields, jumps, you know. Good cooldown. Although he hasn't got any cooldown. He's got pretty good cooldown. But he knows that the Neath Hecate burn on FG, maybe he doesn't know, but the factor is that Neath Hecate, pretty low objective burn. Alfie also pretty low objective burn. So their fire is not very fast. They're also, you know, it's a 19-minute FG and none of them are 19 minutes. So they're not tempo firing because they're not the same level as fire. Scaling as fire, even. And you notice blue team using Fire Giant as their third member. Constantly fighting. This is just unlucky that Briz is in the flame wave here, but Loki was zoning. And every time... Okay, look, red team missed a lot of abilities. That is true. Like, they missed a fuck ton of abilities on people. But, Karmic's also able to get the Sun to steal. Yeah. Bad by a red team to stick it. That's what it is. Once Caddy's like 1 HP getting out, in his like, you need to abort the mission if you're red team. Shit's over at that point. It's a ballsy play, but you got to be ready to abandon ballsy plays as well. Like I'm all for massive tempo rushes, seeing what the enemy's gonna do. But as soon as they show up, you're like, okay, they're not giving it. Let's get the fuck out of here. Okay, Briz. Okay, Briz. Okay, no Hecate ult means that team fight much weaker for red team now. Blue team able to siege pretty freely. And everyone apart from Globe has FG. Amir's able to wall this off. Wall like left side. Oh, they're not going for it. They're going for the Naga instead. I can see it being okay. Loki, a little 1-3-1 split by blue team. Very clean. So this is something that's like, if you're going to 1-3-1 split, I'm not sure if this is something that they actively thought about. And it's not something that is a rule, but it's really nice to have the 1-3-1. And the whole point of being in lanes is that if people are matching you and defending their towers, you're able to give information of where they're going. So blue team all go to clear Naga. There's no information of where red team goes.
The experience for
like
Globe
at all.
Continues to show.
And if Karmic didn't, you know, just decided to back, it's whatever. Like obviously it doesn't end up being bad, but that's how picks happen. Sorry for yawning. But yeah, that's how picks happen.
You could almost see that moment where Valo and Karmic said, "Wait."
Alright, Tagveer, level 17, kind of a low level. Not gonna lie, kind of a low level. Zaylen 15 somehow that far behind, showing me that there's no real farming priority in the Doi lane. Or it's just massively split. The grouping very annoying. Red team also grouping in reaction to blue team grouping. And that early gold fight, I mean early fire fight was quite 10 people-esque, you know. No one splitting the map, playing for a power spike. So now, there's nothing that red team can do. What I want to see from red team is slowing down the pace of the game by splitting resources, splitting map. Nice. He blocks it. Neathog comes out. Nice.
In time. Hit him with a taunt too while you're at it. Look within lose their solo laner to Valo, and they
Yeah,
lose
just
their
split the map if
Pearl
you're red
Weaver
team.
for a short time period
Like,
as
Alfie dying there, is it
Bank
actually
Fury
that big of a deal?
disabling structure, Survivor Giant around Food Drive for Globe.
Not really.
One less member who's been
Although
valuable
it's a
closing
minute
in.
cooldown.
It's siege time.
Sure is. Ancient Fury taking over these structures. You don't have to worry about taking up a tier 2. Not to mention...
Red team need to press their buttons here on Amir. Press all your buttons. Like, Hekate ult should be ripped. You're giving them too much priority. You're letting them play slow. You're letting them choke you out. You need to go. Press some buttons, bro. Nothing worse than watching a team slowly lose the game by their choice of not wanting to press ult. So like losing mid bird, detrimental. Losing duo bird, detrimental. Because the reality is, yes, you might be scared that you're going to lose the team fight. You might lose 1 or 2 people, but you're not going to lose the game off it, surely. But getting slowly choked out, or getting some tempo back, and checking damage, getting some kills, feeling good, fighting, being proactive. It's how things happen. How you get used to like things happening. It's like you don't really want to fight unless you're 100% sure that you're going to win. Sometimes you need to take fights in a 40% situation. So this kind of deal here, just bad timing. See, double beads, perfect. Like that on the mid bird. You know what I mean? Instead of waiting for the already doomed situation to be even worse. And then continuing to fight once it's in a bad state. Also insane. Like, very, very crazy. So if they did that mid, there was no Odin cage to be annoying. If they, like, we'll go back. So they had the idea, but they were just waiting too long. So, like, engaging here is so much value. Soft engage, reset, right? You have 3 birds up. Odin needs to make a choice to do bird or to come mid for a team fight for cage. You have 4v3. You're actually pretty strong. You're able to kill. Your team fight's better than these 3. And you're probably going to get Jingwei ult out of mid as well, which means that she probably won't have it if you catch her again in the jungle somewhere with your Sasano. You know what I mean? But instead, you just wait for the... By waiting and giving birds, you're letting blue team group as 5, which is where they're strongest, obviously, because they have XP lead, more effective gold lead, and then you try to make the even lower percentage play work. Very rough by look within. Maybe they should look within, but that's the game, right? Oh, they don't end the game. Barlow dies in Titan Room by the looks of it. But it is very simple. Wait for Valo angle. Here he is. He spawns. We'll speed it up. They're going to do FG. A red team going to play Titan Room. My gripe with playing Titan Room in Smite 2 against a Cuckoo Khan is that it's dead. It's literally dead within a second. They're going to back. What are they buying? Totem of Death for Valo. Was that a Glide Shield by Karmic, or is that a bit late? He gets Yogi's Necklace too. I love the diversity in these builds. Very all kind of off-meta, feeling stuff out. I do like it. But they just run it down mid. Kind of an ARAM style. Alfie looking for a flank. Neath looking for a flank too. Kinda crazy. Oh, that's the downside of Mordred. Alright, Odin cage big. Valo gets the 1v1 on Caddy, essentially. That's why people hate playing Sasano into Loki. Can't really play the game at this point. Yeah. That's how it is. I liked how Lookwithin tried to fight, but too far behind. Press and pause here. Looking at builds. I think everything's pretty much fine. Instead of Genji's, instead of Oni's Hunter's Garb, double stacking builds. They're quite nice, but they do have a downside, which is objective-based fights, objective like tower structures, golds, and fire. Brennan Bolt's, that's probably the cookie cutter support build. I'm not gonna lie. You get the ward item, you get beads, spirit rape. That's like very basic. Completely fine, by the way, too. I'm not saying it sucks, but you know, Caddy gets some flat pen option early. He doesn't. He goes Hydra's 4th, beat stick first, beat stick. Why first? No idea. Not Hydra's, Tekakagi, Power Spike, Oathsworn Spear's okay. Not, I think next patch does get Giga Buff too, if I remember correctly. He gets like 400 gold off, I think. Good build here by Valo. Like, I like the proc build. Tegvir, very strong build with crit, frenzy, Exy. And then the Hydras to top it off. No lifesteal, you'll notice, from Tegvir, and it seemed to do fine. Happens build, I think, is just insanely selfish and very expensive. It's fun, though. I don't mind it. Gargoyle, great item. Do rate it, but I think that she's just going to ult every time. I don't even know if it's the best Gargoyle game. My cat's gone mental. Glow build, fine. Karmic build, fine. Let's get into game 2. This game, I could dissect, draft, and go like this. Food Drive 1 draft, fucking through the roof. Onama, somehow, not trading here. Sasano top pick when Loki's still on the board. Like, super counter matchup, late game. Valo showed that it's good. And then, I don't know, Arnhem Mordru doesn't really do much. Like, this comp just doesn't do much. No identity.
Hybrid, kind of flex scaling.
No identity. Where this one, very strong objective. Very strong objective fights. Very strong team fights. Very strong scaling. Very strong everything. Good utility with Odin. Good utility with Armor. Same damage from Jing Cuckoo. Let's get into it. Alrighty, let's start it up. We see, I like this by, who is that, Zaylin? Zaylin's poke onto the Amma is really strong. I like that he just hit them, but now you need to go back to Wave. He kind of just watched him do the buff. Hitting him's fine. The poke. Oh, it's just doomed. Tegvir shouldn't have hit the wave, and he should have allowed it to get some solo experience onto the Emir and kind of grief him. Brennan Bolt's adapting his start, finally going for the speed buff. He didn't do it game 1, and he's gone for it game 2. Very strong. Any poking here? Nah. Both jungler solo lanes started on the blue buff and the red buff side of things, and yes, the game is at 1.25. I realized that I don't necessarily want to do like super long form content because you could just go watch the VOD. So this should be just like a really quick watch through review of games. I don't really want to do the whole thing. Yeah, as I would say, Caddy is the win con for these early fights, and him not getting a kill, detrimental, heartbreaking, if you will. I want to see a back here by Tegvir and happen. Let's go. Valo gets the back. Valo gets his Skagox done. Tegvir stays on the map. No, he gets the back. Very good. Yeah, good. Watch their back. Skagox for Tegvir. Yep, beautiful. Happen. Gets the hybrid defense item, right? 12 of each prop. So now, they are insanely strong. They are insanely strong now. This duo lane should be a kingdom.
In this case, you don't have the Fed jungler helping you out. Good luck with it.
Early rotation coming out from Brendan Bolts to the mid lane. Doesn't fully commit, but is there regardless. That's something we haven't seen too much of. I feel like the supports, while they're looking for...
Alright, we've hit the 3-minute mark.
They are staying mostly
Let's see this invade come out.
While Brendan Bolts is coming back, still interesting to watch. How often will they continue to do that?
Good question. Jungler is not anywhere near, so Food Driver Globe can stand the tower.
Keeping priority at the tower line. I like it. Keep them pinned. Push this wave. I love this by Happen. I love that play by Happen. Give the solo wave over to Tegvir. Make sure you're able to get there on time. And create this weird dilemma where, are you hitting me or what are you doing? And he does steal it, right? Yeah. It's the Sunder. Beautiful by Happen. That's really well played. Oh, Happen gets speed as well. Alright, I'm back. We keep going. I cannot remember a thing that's happened outside of a decent play in duo early. Once again.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's not here, unlucky. But just watching the Amma do it, somehow more disrespectful if you're
okay. Yeah, so I was gone for 10 minutes around that, so I do have memory loss about what I've just watched. I'm not gonna lie. But if we just revisit the basics and we look at the blue team draft, it is rough for red team. See how this 5-minute Gold Fury phase goes. 5 to 7 minutes. Tegvir farming it up. Happen, trying to look for some poke. No poke found.
Dash in there from
Sasano coming to the duo side of the map also. Interesting to see why. He might feel pretty strong. It's all big shield too. Where's this ult by Happen? There it is. Wait. What the fuck was that engaged by Valo?
Same for the Amir, but Caddy has committed way deeper down the lane. The airstrike doesn't do enough to save Happen.
Everyone played that awfully.
Valo with the re-engage. Globe is here on that.
Where's the impale? No impale. The blink comes out. Why are you fighting even more? Damn, red team coming away massively. And you know why they're coming away? Because Briz gets to shovel wave, grab that. He got blue buff. Like the mid, he got the mid buff. He gets to shovel wave that Globe's gonna miss, and he gets the gold camp. Even if they somehow got a kill in left lane as blue team, the red team win the trade. And he gets oracles too. Oh my god, it's coffins. Tegvir, what are you doing? He's getting some poke. Poke sailing out right before purple spawns. Swap this, swap that, swap that. Yeah, it worked, but like, way that should work, Tegvir should be picking the buff up here, and then Happen should be smacking the shit out of that Amir. Alfie doesn't get the red invade. There's ult coming out. It's a disengage ult. Bye. The Mordred. Oh, beautiful. But Happen does get speed buff, and they get a kill in the right side invade. Beautiful play by Food Drive, winning two sides of the map once. Disgusting.
In the distance, it travels. So this Asano was just kind of left out to dry. Lost his speed buff to the support again. It's a rough game here for Caddy.
So far, man, Susano, you don't like the 1v1 versus Loki.
Tegvir happily scaling, like it's fine.
Considering you're going to be down itemization as well.
Double Hydra's coming out. Very strong.
There was some rotation over to left lane. Still no one looking at that Gold Fury just yet, but I do think Food Drive for Globe has the ability to pull.
Alright, let's not do anything. That's why Hekate ult's so strong. It literally covers the entire path that you want to go, so you're forced to go left or right, and then you're just dead anyway, because you've had to path into a shit situation. They grab the Naga though. Good. In response to mid lane aggression from red team, Food Drive on the blue team are able to grab the Naga on the other side of the map with no worries. It does help that Amaterasu's doing it. It's trying to solo gold. Oh, Alfie here too. So red team posturing for this 8-minute Gold Fury. Tegvir, blissfully unaware. Happen just gonna look for a steal, right? He does. Oh, he doesn't die. Unlucky. Great gold though. Great gold. Reason being, no jungle's up. Nothing is up for a trade, so... Oh, maybe a lazy back's the only downside, but nothing up for blue team to steal. Great gold. Love it. Alfie level 10. Karmic's still level 10 too. Karmic couldn't invade anything because there was nothing available. And he overstays trying to get as much as he can. He does still get his gold camp, and he's getting his blue buff taken from him. Interesting by Valo. Karmic does need to back. Very. He needs a little bit more money, I'm assuming. They're gonna go for a kill. This has to be troll. Will eat my words, but I do think it's troll. No, I won't eat my words. Going for a kill Y right there. Karmic in a bad situation anyway. If he wanted to back, he could have just backed. You don't need to look for something and then back. You can back, let Loki clear the wave. Completely fine. Nothing to go crazy about there. Alright, we're 10 minutes in and look within with a 1100 lead. But it's not quite big enough. And I think their comp's worse than their game 1 comp also.
Getting a little bit of extra farm is nice.
Susan still has a decent
11 minutes in. Scores 2-3
gold lead, I would assume.
This time
You never know. Valo seems to be pretty disciplined with farming.
Power spites were significant to keep track of in game 1. There's a few online. The Soul Reaver out for Alfie, the Tekko Kagi for Caddy. Same thing for Valo.
Tegveer.
Tegveer's got the Dagger of Frenzy.
Oof. I was say Tegveer's quite strong now, to be honest, in 1v1 situations.
It feels much more tame than game number 1 did.
Yeah, so far, but
so this will, the dev gloves will scale, but if you have this active, it's essentially 80 power, and that's 50 power, right? Versus, oh, never mind. Big back by Zaylin. I like Xe. I do. I really like Xe second. On her, just pretty much true damage if you are in a boxing fight. Now, I still don't think he wins against a Jingwei because it's a Jingwei, but still fine. We're devolving, boys. We're devolving into a PvP arena-esque kind of game. If you want to fight the Odin, fight him at his blue buff, fight him at red buff, fight him on something for a reason. Gold Fury is coming up in 10 seconds. We'll speed it up. Looking for some priority here. Brandon Bolts gets Globe. Globe gets poked. Not quite enough to be comfortable. Ripping it, in my opinion, but they think they are comfortable enough to rip it. Karmic. Once again, playing for this. Karmic backing? Yo. This is just awful. What are you doing? Look at all this right side jungle you can take.
Wins is close to range, but look within. It's burning the Gold Fury quickly. It's got to come out right now, and it might be too late. Pursue the weak to chase down Tegveer. Not going to find it.
Red team have inted. We'll go back and watch after it, but Happen was able to just destroy the people on the gold. Right, we'll go back now. Who cares about after the fight? Look at Brendan Bolt's tanks this Gold Fury. It sucks that we don't have a health bar. Ah, great by Globe. Great by Globe. As soon as Amir ults to get like the CC immunity Sunder, he gets ulted by Globe. That's the key part of that fight, right? And then he's able to engage quite freely. Brendan Bolt doesn't leash the Gold Fury, so Gold's still hitting him. Happen's able to steal it. This dive is just insane anyway.
Looking for a pick. They lose Globe, but gain an Alfie, and it looks like Valo is chasing out the remainders.
Brendan Bolt's actually got some value for being so fucked at the start of that fight, to be honest. Chasing his dog shit. They get speed though, that's good. Go straight to purple too. Strip the entire jungle. Guys, strip the inside jungle.
That's a beautiful play from Happen. He goes in with the ultimate. Remember, you can cast Sunder wall.
Take that purple, take the next purple. Go, Tegveer, go, super farm. Nice, strips, jungle, straight to purple. Do speed buff too. Fuck your jungler. Not even trolling. How cool is it that two tanks are able to do the pyro by themselves? Interesting. I think Amma might be overtuned. Same as Odin, to be honest. Warhorn. Using the force choke. Misses the wave, that's okay. Alright, Xe done for Tegveer on that back. Very strong. Happen looking to build the beads active. I like the beads active into Hecate comps, it ruins. Or it just helps with the dive. Doesn't ruin.
I've seen players like Donut Doug put the on-her to great use late game. But in those situations, it was still the on-her being ahead. Obviously not the case currently. So Zaylin will have a lot of work to do.
What is next on the map? Honestly, nothing. We're going to skip through until the next gold. It looks like they're posturing to kill Karmic, but that's just stupid. So I will see you whenever. Alright, we have a little cool passage of play with a 1-4 setup. Starts a little bit of it honestly looks good for red team here, but he gets bugged. Alright, Alpha gets bugged. which sucks. But I think if you hit the ult, it's actually even more detrimental for red team. Blue team split targets, very interesting. I think it was that Susano was doing red and Happen wanted to secure it. Tegvir plays by himself in duo lane, pinning the Anho down. Globe hits a good ult. Globe's ults have been pretty good. Beads comes out, and then Karmic. PvP Sunders, someone call Haddix. And Karmic gets the kill, gets out. Just a clean PvP fight. Wasn't too bad too by blue team to chase that hard because red team were kind of inting in their jungle. So that turns into a fire giant, right? Yeah, look at that. I haven't watched this far, I'm just saying. That's just organically how punishing mistakes works, right? 16-minute FG. Jingwei is able to do that. Okay, let's back instantly. Everyone should back. Get ready for this Gold Fury. After Gold Fury, you can start splitting towers.
It just feels like you can't let food drive.
Let's see the siege phase begin. By 22 minutes, it should be like a 10k gold lead. You gotta remember, this is the protection-based FG.
Get their snowball across. They are a very scary team to try to match. All their bonuses.
Let's siege, let's siege. I bet they don't though.
The individual skill, it really shines through. Or look within needed to sort of cut those corners and beat food drive to the punch.
Yeah, I am speeding it up. Better than skipping through. Karmic has info on 2 people. Should give a free sieging phase to the boys. What is Cuckoo doing? Yeah, red team are just splitting the map completely. Blue team able to just keep pushing. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. I don't like how Loki's played this. Loki's been playing as if it's still not a siege phase. He's just full farming. Loki should have played to stop backs and be annoying, or shove mid by himself.
Let's go, I'm down. Tegvir was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I didn't agree to all this. So food drive for global.
Very bad, very bad, very bad. Not a fan. Why is Happen still there? Like, he's slow?
A tickle, a poke, maybe? Totally okay. Food drive group back up at the Gold Fury.
Beautiful. Gold pool, Karmic, looking for buffs in right side. Also gives information to blue team about if they can dive mid, right? In my opinion, you dive that bitch, definitely. But still quite not a tight grouping by food drive. Okay, they wanted a little reset action here. One thing I do like, okay, is when you're posturing for a siege and they have over-resourced their defense. So 2 people are here, and honestly, not 2 people that can take a tower. You guys are standing there and you're getting 4 people to come here and not farm and split waves while the rest of your team farms. It's a beautiful,
they're trying to starve out the enemy.
Not subconscious, but it's like a play that you're never thinking of. Just pinning people to towers and you have someone hyper farming is beautiful. It's something that's was pretty well done and well thought of in Smite 1 Fire Giant dances. Like, alright guys, let's all sit at fire and stare at each other whilst the jungler farms up. But you can still take that mentality and that theory to towers also. Once the tier 2 goes down, food driver globe is an option. They go right or they continue to push for the bird, and it looks like the Phoenix is what they're after. Remember, Haven's got a runic bomb. This is still sketchy. Without Ancient Fury, I don't know if I'm taking a Phoenix fight just yet. That gold lead's big, but it's not that big.
Tier 2 for Karmic. Happen steps through as well, so perhaps the call should be a fairly safe.
Wait, this is an easy fight here. Yeah, this is good by Happen. Yeah, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. That's so good. You don't need to keep going. You don't need to do stuff here. Damn, they already had the good fight. No need to use ults or anything like that.
Probably the best colors to back up. They got so much gold. They have a lot of gold in pocket as well. They could spend up. And with the timing, if you look at the respawn timers on FG, they can.
Bye, dance time, boys.
Playing it safely. Jameer is not going to be able to get more than like 1 to 2 free.
Alright, they fire dance.
But Happen has infinite mobility, good bit of sustain.
Happen getting an Ankh after the beads. Globe has Reaver to Hoodie. Yogi's necklace for Karmic. Not a fan of the Yogi's necklace this game because you're not going to get poked. Well done by Tegvir. Alrighty, we're back. We're going to look at the FG dance. Had to go pick up the assistant coach from the toilet. He wasn't very happy. Starts with Alfie dashing on to Tegvir. Tegvia gets a pretty good ult off, and now
Is not hitting as hard
what we see is
as
Karmic
Tegvia right
getting
now.
a good
So watch
cage
those
onto the
crits.
support.
Fight breaks
Really
out,
bad ult,
Food
to be
Drive
honest,
slow
by
step up.
Habit.
Lot of damage
But it
on
is
you,
what
but
it
your
is.
Happens already
And then
backed away, the back liners, and Karmic will bring down Brendan
it's
Bolt.
just
This is
Hecate
looking
not
real
being
good
able
for
to
Food
play
Drive
in
for
this
Globe
fight.
so far.
If you
Lot of
watch this
damage in return.
back,
Alfie,
Hecate's
in deep,
impact's
looking for
way too
Tegvir.
late.
Will find it, but Globe on the hunt. The Zephyr hits.
Like
And
way
Globe
too late.
secures
And
it,
then
so
Loki
no
was
more
able to do
Mordred.
Loki things the
Fallow
entire
in the
game.
back line, catches
He got
almost
massive value,
everybody
obviously,
with
onto
that
3
ultimate.
people, but
Look how low Zaylin and Caddy got. They will not escape the clutches
it
of
looked
Food Drive
like a
for
5v5, or maybe you
Globe,
could
and
consider a
killing spree
1v1
for
with a
the
4-4.
namesake. Maybe Briz goes down too.
This
Happen
diving's
will
just
take
stupid
out the
if they don't have a
Phoenix
wave.
to his
But
head, but Globe
the reality
dashes
is,
in. Pop goes Briz.
there was
Food Drive for Globe are looking great
no
again.
fight there for Look Within, with Briz not being in the fight.
It's not as if Phoenix is going to be
And also
fine.
Zaylin's build
I mean, Food Drive for Globe, they got
is
this great
awful.
plan. Honestly, what they're doing,
Unlucky,
yeah,
he's gone
like,
Berserkers
got the
Fatalis.
Fire Giant, but now Brendan Bolts is
Not
back.
what you want, because look, there's this whole thing where people think crit is bad. People think pen is bad, people think chin size is bad, so there's this weird limbo of ADC players just like throwing together random stuff. But that build doesn't kill towers, doesn't kill FG, doesn't kill gods. So what are you actually doing? You're playing to survive, but what's the point of surviving if you can't have an impact, right?
Would be their third
Makes
bomb.
no sense to me.
Seems like Happen never used
At least
it.
have an identity
Pick one up,
in
but
the
Globe
game.
has to take this one, and he does. Now you got 3 bombs and 2 sunders. We're almost out of the realm of
Especially when you've got a
possibilities of
Hecate comp, like Hecate can carry the PvP aspect.
Naga
You could just
too.
take a full
Phoenix, or you use everything
objective
to guarantee
identity if you really
FG.
wanted to.
Remember, no birds have been taken.
But no fire after that fight due to a really bad dive.
Look within can stand here. They can
Really, really bad dive.
grab the objective, but it's gonna be Brendan Bolts again. That's the guy.
Where are these Emir
See
walls?
who
That's
would
what
take this
we need to make
one.
the
It's
adjustment
gonna
of
be Ymir, but
Emir
keep your
wall,
eyes on
Hecate,
that pursuit
3,
on to Tegvir.
off the
Opening up
freeze.
the doors to get the pick on a Jingwei. He might
Alfie's
go for
just
a similar
building,
play.
Hard to imagine Alfie
building
wouldn't
some
have been
rage.
playing, that sort of corner flank really well for Look Within.
Tegvir has Nagas? He should just picked it up with Naga.
They're locking down the Fire Giant pit.
Wait, why didn't they just pick this up with Nagas? Didn't mean to pause.
A way in to contest this, if at all. Their options are limited. Everything could be dropped on this fire. Still 3 bombs, 2 suckers.
No, see, in my opinion, that's an awful fight call.
Spirit of the Nine Winds will hit Brendan Bolts. That was a target. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
Alfie
red
into the
team are in a
back line
bad
finds
spot.
Globe. Yet
Blue
to
team are in a
kill.
bad spot.
Will Globe go down? The Aegis too. Now a
Cuckoo
Phantom
gets a
Shell.
tornado off and
Caddy
it changes the
makes it
fight?
work, but
No.
on the jump,
Why did
Karma
red team
cleans up
fight that?
Alfie, who got caught in the
This is such a...
whirlwind. The Loki ult
just-
is good. The final shot to the head takes out
I think blue
Caddy.
team
And
fighting
Look
was
Within
bad,
have
but
to
red team
concede.
fighting even worse. Like, blue team get a cage onto Brendan Bolts, they drop so much onto the Emir. I just hated it. And then he stays on 400 HP. I swear Brendan Bolts is just inting. He does the Berserker's Rush also. Kinda crazy. Alright, we're gonna skip through because they should just reset into something, but they just go straight to Gold Fury. That's completely fine also. I will see you when the game resumes. Red team went for a pick into solo side jungle, but no one went solo side jungle because let's be honest, why would they go solo
I love
side
looking
jungle?
for snowballs on the beach too. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, that's a really good analogy there by Malum. Looking for snowballs on the beach. Looking for a pick and right side jungle when there's Ancient Fury Fire Giant down, and the most basic smite player should be running to dual lane in that situation.
He earned it.
This Titan is dead. You have a Cuckoo Khan, it's just dead. The tornado and the ult will just like do enough damage to it. Does Tegvir have ults? Why hasn't he gone in the sky? It doesn't matter, it's dead anyway, but like, interesting. Alright, that set, it was pretty disjointed by me personally, like I had to run around, look after the little girl, but it does show, game 1 specifically, showed a bit more reasoning behind how Food Drive does have a bit of success. I think Happen looks like a really good support player in the mid of the pack range. Tegvir impressing me a little bit on ADC, not gonna lie. Valo very patient also, very good. I don't want to say Karmic's like, their solo side is the weak side. That's the only, well, not issue, but the only thing I can see, as my child is thrown up all over me. Great, what a great way to end the video.